Check 1 2. Check 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 checkity check 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 check. Check check.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to E&D Leaders Stadium for a big game at the top of the NPL WA men's competition as round 18 is upon us and Floreat host Bayswater City this afternoon. Thanks for your company today on what should be an absolute beauty of a clash between first and fourth in the league. My name's Tommy Dolman. I'll be calling you through today's fixture across NPL.tv and also over on the Football West Facebook page and the YouTube channel as well. Remember, you can download the NPL.tv app across your various devices, sign up for a free account and access live football, match highlights and replays of the various NPL men's and women's competitions around Australia. Full slate of 6 games of action this afternoon after a one-week pause for the Cup final weekend here in the West, despite a couple of catch-up games for those looking to make ground in their respective seasons. Perth Red Star going to the weekend second, and they face Perth for the second time in a week at Dorrien Gardens. They, along with Stirling and Bayswater, in hot pursuit of leaders Floreat. Stirling, in fact, are at home to Guelph, Croatia today, who are hoping to keep their head clear of water. Balcatta, meanwhile, will be looking to apply a bit of pressure against Glory, who have had back-to-back wins over Armidale and Perth. There's also a big game for the top 4 with the winner of Inglewood and Sorrento still alive for finals and a loser facing an uphill task to get there. Armidale are also hosting Coburn in a repeat of last Sunday's dramatic State Cup final. So the players make their way to their positions. Assistant referees are just checking over the goal nets and doing their bits of pre-game admin. And your referee out in the middle today is Matthew Southern, and he'll be assisted by Jamie West and by Joshua Throssell. So the business end of the season is looming large, and this is the time where teams start to pull clear, slide further away or keep tabs in the race for honours. In what's been such an exciting and largely even campaign, there comes a point where the room to manoeuvre lessens slightly and the time to be clutch becomes much needed. A chance therefore for 2 of the state's heavyweight sides to make a statement today on this Saturday. Round 18 action off and underway with Bayswater getting things started and coming forward early through a Dumba Mikeche cross which John Steins tried to hook in a scorpion fashion over the back of his head, and over it goes for an early Floreat goal kick. Sun just poking its head through the clouds. We've had a pretty overcast and wet and windy morning. Also last night as well, we had a lot of rain too. So it might be a little heavy on the deck for both of these teams today, but don't underestimate the importance of this clash. Floreat in the blue and white, Bayswater in their changed bright yellow jerseys. In case you're unawares, Jesse Fuller with the ball forward gives Phil Arnold something to chase early, and that is the definition of no nonsense from Jason Mirko. Lofted up and onto the roof of the changing rooms in the background. Hooked around the corner here for McManus in the area, arriving on the scene and striking on goal is Ambrogio, and it was a good early save from Nick Spaker. He didn't really have to move, but the positioning was good. And that's just a little early warning for the visitors. Floreat are the league's leading scorers in the league this season, joint with Perth Red Star on 44 goals in their 17 games. They've got an early corner here as well. Leaping is Brown Montgomery, who can't divert on target, and Spaker will come and claim again. Mirko's long ball was behind John Steins. Here is Sean McManus, who was tracking back and helping out his fullback in Saldaris. As mentioned before, it's first versus fourth today. Very tight at the top of the NPL WA men's competition. The top 4 teams split by just 4 points. Bayswater looking to make ground. Floreat looking to draw further clear. He's Costa Sparta, who just lost his footing on the deck. Nearly broke for Gordon Smith in the penalty area. Abrahams for Tom Southgate. Wide for Jason Mirko. A little clip up the line for Sparta. Mirko again. Sparta's cross into the area is headed away by Ambrogio of all people, I believe. Now Zaid Farah tries his luck with a skidding strike, and players just losing their footing a little bit on the turf. McManus tries to scoot through a wall of fluorescent Bayswater jerseys, and Hesketh tries to build a little bit of momentum down the left. Farah's throw up the line, cushioned headed down by McKechnie. Last touch there off McManus, I feel. Bayswater will stay on the front foot. Floreat 11 wins from their 17 games. 3 draws, 3 losses. Bayswater 9-5-3 in those columns. Both teams in really good form as well. Just the one defeat in their last 7 for Bayswater. 1 defeat in their last 10 for Floreat. McKechnie's layoff. Miss Steins. Hoisted away by Dennis Gallen. Petkoff trying to bring down. Such an important game today in the shake-up of not only the top 4 race, but also the battle for top 4 places and potential double chance and home finals as well, which can always give you just that little bit of an upper hand. Southgate's pass, a little bit of time for Smith to turn. He's got Costa Sparta wide right. Pass didn't have the weight on it. Krista Delacas stepped in. Smith then lays for Sparta, who stayed on side. Smith continued his run, and reading that like a book was Fuller. Such a consistent player is Jesse Fuller, former Coburn and Armidale player. Proven to be very reliable here at E&D Leaders Stadium over the years. Krista Delacas played into Sparta, helped back up the line by Fuller. Now Phil Arnold. Hargreaves came over to meet him. Mirko, then to the feet of Abrahams. McKechnie's layoff for Smith. Bayswater just trying to exchange a few passes and get their football going. Very much a team who can do both if required. Able to use the counter-attack to break with that formidable front 3 of Smith, McKechnie and Steins, whilst also building up from the back. In fact, that front 3 have scored 31 of Bayswater's 40 goals in season 2022. In the league, at least, anyway. Just have a little bit of a pause at the moment. Alex Krista Delacas will just require a little bit of treatment over on the far side. So goalless in the earlier stages. If you are late to us on NPL.tv and on the Football West Facebook page and YouTube channel this afternoon, early Nick Ambrogio chance for Floreat to the right of your screen. Game's only real action inside the penalty area so far. We are going to see an early swap as well. Doesn't look as though Krista Delacas is going to be able to continue. And we're going to see young Philip Minich come on, left back I suspect. Like for like swap. Minich actually played the game against Perth Red Star, that thrilling 3-2 win recently, where they got those 2 goals in additional time to Athena. Had a very good game as well against Choctaw in particular. Red Stars flyer down the right. So Minich now waved onto the pitch. Chris Delakis will make his way off the ground the long way round. And Steins will return the ball to Dennis Gallen and will get things underway again. Forward by Saldaris, cushioned down by Mirko. It was a little wayward. Minich will get his first touch of the day. Forced back by Costa Sparta. Ambrogio, Arnold, Palmer. Nice little interchange of passing in the centre of the park. Brown Montgomery tried to poke off a man for a throw. In the end, gave away the free kick for a little tussle with Mirko over on the far side. Hargreaves. Ball over the top. Spider flagged for offside. Been an imperious run of form. The home team a run of late. 5 wins in their last 6 matches. Scored at least 3 times in each of those games. 20 goals in total in their last 6. They've got some defending to do here, though, as Southgate lofts forward. Mkeche got his head to it. Arriving was Smith. Clearing away was Fuller back there. Athena will try to make their way forward on the burst again as Brown Montgomery loves to run with the ball. Strikes at goal. Spaker was happy to watch that one wide. Player who's full of confidence at the moment is Bailey Brown Montgomery. Scored last time out away at Gwelup. Athena's leading scorer this campaign with 8 league goals. 7 of them away, incidentally, so he'll be looking to build on his solitary strike against Red Star all the way back in round 4. Spoke of Floreat's good run at extensed further. As I said a little earlier, 8 wins in 10. Just 1 defeat. Bayswater have been playing pretty well also, though. They did have a slip-up, 4-0 loss away at Perth Red Star, but aside from that, they've won 4 of their last 6. Albeit they were held last time out against Inglewood United. Alex Dunn making a penalty save in that game to prevent Bayswater from possibly getting all 3. Petkov's cross, Brown Montgomery arriving at the near post. Good goalkeeping by Specker to meet at the near post. Sparta. Mirko. Deep cross. Oh, flicked on in the end by Saldaris. Steins laying off for Abrahams. Cross was wayward. A promising position comes to nothing for the visitors. Long clearance from Saldaris. Lifted forward by Minich. Petkov left it for Brown Montgomery. Weight of numbers wins the day for Bayswater. Now Mirko's ball over the top gives Mikeche something to chase. And Bayswater's leading scorer is in the area and striking into the bottom corner. And Bayswater's bid to blow open the title race takes a big step in the right direction. They've got the early break here at E&D Leaders Stadium through their leading scorer, his 15th of the campaign. Floreat 0, Bayswater 1. Well, sometimes the easiest route to goal is the most simple, and it was long ball forward from Jason Mirko over the top of Floreat's defence. Questionable defending, you have to say, but Mikeche, when throwing goal in that position, rarely lets an opportunity pass up, and he didn't disappoint there. Over 20 goals in all competitions this season, second only in the Golden Boot race behind Daryl Nicol. Not sure who'll catch him with the Scot currently 6 clear after that goal, pending what Red Star are doing elsewhere. McManus, meanwhile, fouled by Zaid Farah. Abrahams will just tow that one away. A little bit of gamesmanship there, perhaps. So Palmer's over the free kick, aimed in towards the back post. Petkov was leaping. Saldaris nearly on the turn, was able to orchestrate an effort towards goal. And Matthew Southern has pointed to the penalty spot. And Floreat will get a near immediate opportunity to reply. Well, I can only imagine it was for the challenge on Chris Saldaris in the area. It was all very messy. There was a lot of bodies in the area. And the man with the ball in his hands is Nick Ambrogio. Bayswater's team aren't particularly happy with that one. Matthew Southern remains unmoved though. And now we are going to see a yellow card. First of the afternoon. I think that was shown to Declan Hargreaves for, I assume, some continued protesting. So Nick Ambrogio scored a couple of important penalties lately. He'll step up to the mark again. So up steps Ambrogio, who strikes, and coolly slots away, and Floreat get the quick response that they'd want. Nick Ambrogio with his 4th goal in his last 5 games. And it's Floreat 1, Bayswater 1. So off we go again. Floreat 1, Bayswater City 1. This is a game that does usually have goals, and it's not disappointed so far with 2 inside the first 18 minutes. It's the 14th time in their 17 NPL WA era meetings that both teams have found the back of the net. And coming into today's fixture, we had seen 25 goals in the last 5 meetings, including a 6-1 win to Bayswater in their earlier season meeting at Frank Drago Reserve that afternoon. There was 2 each for Smith, McKechnie and Steins. And we're off to a fly here in this all-important fixture for the top of the league and the top 4 race. Mirko's throw, quick footwork by Spider. Header away was from Gallen. McManus with a good win. 1-on-1 against Abrahams. Arnold helps it on. Petkov gives chase. Hesketh sends it back the other way. Ball will eventually be a Bayswater throw. Here on this near side in front of the Bayswater dugout. Gareth Naven patrolling that one for the visitors. Former Perth Glory Club captain. One-time player at Bayswater Inter. Also former Athena player in the home dugout as well with Vas Vujicic in his 3rd season with the club, having replaced Ante Kovacevic in 2020. Sparta again, being busy early. Header was away from Saldaris. Sparta with the chest down. Sparta once again volleying and finding the back of the net. Costa Sparta on the volley. And Floreat were only square for a matter of minutes because Bayswater have restored their advantage here at E&D Leaders Stadium. Costa Sparta's 5th goal this season. He's known for scoring spectacular ones, and whilst he showed good technique to catch that on the volley and get it on target, I'm not sure how that found its way in. Bayswater won't care though. Meanwhile, Ambrogio is trying to get his way around Southgate, and despite some shouts for a penalty from the home supporters, Matthew Southern gives it correctly the other way. What a busy start this has been then. Specker gets us restarted. Former Perth Glory Academy goalkeeper. Flick on was from McKechnie, helped on by Steins. Smith looking to run in behind. Petkov was then nudged in the back by Hesketh. The game certainly means a lot. Palmer's ball forward. Brown Montgomery with the header. Couldn't get it on target. He was free though. Perhaps not wise to leave Athena's leading scorer wide open. I spoke about the attacks earlier and how these are 2 of the top 3 leading scoring teams in the league. Bayswater also joint 6th in terms of their ranking in defence. Floreat have actually got the 3rd worst defence in the league, or 4th worst My apologies, only Armidale, Guelph and Balcatta have conceded more goals than the home team. So perhaps we shouldn't be so surprised by the nature of the open start. Smith's turned around the corner. Mikeche. Smith with a header again. Here's Steins. Goes to ground. No free kick. Past them missed Petkov. Southgate. Turned around the corner by Steins. Mikeche trying to bring under control. Left it behind and Ambrogio was able to step in. So Bayswater free kick. Hesketh will come forward from the back. Mirko's over it. He's got half a dozen to aim for in Floreat's penalty area. Minich was able to header away. Brown Montgomery muscled off the ball. Hesketh came in to help. Smith, last touch was off. The Scot. Floreat substitutes. Just off for a bit of a warm-up, 25 minutes into this one. Likes of Ludovic Boy and Lart Matiang and Liam Murray to call upon if required. Bayswater with the likes of former Perth Glory Academy player Fraser Dunlop and T-Boy Camera as well. Fuller with the long diagonal. Brought down nicely by Zaid Farah. Cushioned back to his former teammate at Glory Specker. Over the top from Gallen. Arnold then with an arm. Up in the air into Hesketh, and he'll go into the book as well, so yellow card each for both teams, with Phil Arnold joining Declan Hargreaves. Throw from Chris Saldaris. McManus flicks it on. Athena gain some metres. Saldaris again. Petkov on the turn. Ambrogio. Arnold was lurking. Pass missed both he and Petkov. Mirko up the line for Sparta. Those two have combined reasonably well in this first half so far, and they do so again with the reward of a corner. Driven in by Mirko. Smith got his head to it. Palmer's free kick. Flick on from Brown Montgomery. Saldaris and Southgate give chase. Southgate plays up the line. Minich then got in front of Sparta and put that one over the sideline. So coming up to the half-hour mark here at E&D Leaders Stadium. First versus fourth NPL WA men's clash this afternoon. Round 18 action sees Floreat Athena 1, Bayswater 2. After a fast start. NPL.tv and on the Football West Facebook page and YouTube channel with you this afternoon. Tommy Dolman with you on the call. This match of the round of this 6-game slate. Sparta's cross. McManus hoists up in the air. Nicely brought down there by Petkov, and he did really well actually to keep the ball to his feet. Gallen happy to go all the way back to his goalkeeper, who goes long to the feet of Palmer. Challenge from Abrahams. Floreat throw. Petkov. Strike at goal is an optimistic one, and it had Spaker backpedaling for a moment. The goalkeeper was able to watch over in the end. Header down from Palmer. McManus just looked as though he slipped at the crucial moment. Now Farah. McKeche in a little bit of space. Feigned to shoot. Opted to lay wide for Sparta instead. And he draws the foul. Bayswater with a free kick in another potentially promising position. So crowded penalty area for Mirko to aim for. Not the most conventional of clearances from Palmer, but it was partially effective. Hesketh lost his footing as he tried to get a shot away. Now a chance for the hosts to counter-attack through Phil Arnold. Petkov is ahead of him. Arnold continued his run. Good running from the midfielder. Hargreaves was tracking him and used his body really well to nudge Arnold as the ball just as he was about to cross. McKeche's layoff. Follows able to just marshal that one into touch. Quickly taken throw, put Gallon under a little bit of pressure. Didn't really have much choice other than to just bomb that one long upfield as far as possible. Bayswater's record here has actually been pretty good over the years. They've won 3 of their 7 visits in the NPL WA era. They lead 8-4 overall in the overall matchups between the pair. In fact, Floreat have only had 1 win in their last 6 meetings with Bayswater overall, and that was last season in round 5. One all draw in last season's fixture at this venue with Sean McManus and Luke Salmon, the goal scorers that day. Smith lifts across for Zaid Farah to run onto. Inboard he comes. A little bit of time and space for Hargreaves to assess his options. Finds McKeche by feet. Bayswater building again. Mirko keeps it alive. Sparta. Mirko again. McKeche strikes at goal. Leans back a little bit on it. And over the bar it sails. Gallon's clearance was charged down by Steins, and it'll stay alive here for the visitors. His cross into the area. Smith arrived to meet it, and it flashed just wide of the upright. And that was a real good chance for Bayswater to extend their lead. Saudaris beaten. All ends up there. A lick of paint between the ball going wide and Bayswater finding a third potentially inside this first half. Petkov, Brown Montgomery sliding past through. Looked as though Arnold ran into his opponent. Still here for Ambrogio. Little clip forward will be too close to the goalkeeper, who's looking to release quickly. Steins was under pressure. Farah now. Steins back doing some defensive work. McManus hustling and winning his team a throw. Saudaris charges down the cross, and he's got a decent throw on him as the fullback. He was actually Athena's top scorer in the league last season, reaching double figures. A few of those did come from the penalty spot. Meanwhile, McManus fights. Last touch off Saudaris. Bayswater throw. So after a blistering start, at least in terms of the open nature of the game, it looks as though it's just settled down a little bit. That's neither team has really had a sustained period of control on this one. And Floreat have had plenty of set-piece opportunities. Here's the latest of them, which Gallon will take. Half a dozen blue and white shirts to aim for in the penalty area. Spaker came and caught. Quick release. Wasn't able to reach the feet of Sparta, and Minich goes all the way back to Saudaris under pressure. McKeche charges it down, tries his luck from a tight angle, giving chase. Oh, off the post! And it stays out. Somehow, Saldaris goes back to gather. And I think Jesse Fuller thought that was just going to trickle wide of the post, and it nearly rebounded off the upright, and well, it was almost fortunate in the end that it didn't come back off the defender and into his own net, but Floreat survive another scare after another less than good piece of defending. Meanwhile, Saldaris' cross is looping off the bar. Goodness me, the frame of the goal hit at both ends of the ground, and not in the conventional circumstances that you'd usually see it either. Touch over 5 minutes to play then before half-time. Floreat 1, Bayswater 2. Mikeche and Sparta with the goals for Baysy. Athena answered temporarily through Nick Ambrogio from the penalty spot. Skied up in the air by Gallen, headed back by Hargreaves. Jason Saldaris will gather and look to get things moving quickly. Hargreaves' ball over the top. Mikeche will get on the end of it. Then try to poke it past Gallen, and Saldaris was retreating back to help his teammate out. Up the line from McManus, Ambrogio, Petkov. A little bit of space to turn. Close down quickly now. Still going is Robert Petkov. Strike comes in. Took a little deflection on its way through, and that's an easy one for the goalkeeper to snaffle up. Here's Southgate, joined Bayswater this season after spending 2021 at Gwelup, previously with Perth. Hargreaves now, Farah. Steins, crowded out by two Athena players. Forward from Gallen, Palmer, nice touch, cushioned pass in the end. It was for Petkov, who then sets McManus a real task, but he does really well as the winger, and the cross comes in over everyone's head. It will still reach Brown Montgomery at the back stick, though. Little prod into Palmer, who goes to ground. Matthew Southern tells him to get up. And no real appeals from the home team. Forward again from Gallen, headed back by Hesketh. Moved forward by Hargreaves. Now Ambrogio. Petkov tries to turn. Ambrogio tries to steal in. Athena will stay on the front foot, and they'll continue to try and build some revs in the shadows of half-time. A little bit of grappling there with Palmer the protagonist, and Bayswater will get the free kick. Saudaris' throw, Ambrogio. McManus tries to just dink over the top. Hesketh was in good position to read, and he'll try to shield out. Bundled over, but succeeded in what he was trying to do initially. Fierce competitor is Steve Hesketh, former Perth Glory youth team and Stirling player. Spent some time at Rockdale and at Bonnyrigg in the New South Wales NPL before returning to Perth. Smith tries to charge away from Fuller, and Sparta will strike wide of the post. And Bayswater with an opportunity once again to put themselves in a real strong position going into half-time. Would have expected the back of the net to ripple from there, with Costa Sparta arriving in the area. Piercing strike may have had Saudaris beaten again, but he was happy to watch it wide. Forward from Southgate. That'll run all the way through to the goalkeeper. We're into first half added time at E&D Leaders Stadium. Can either team create one final opportunity before the interval? Floreat might be able to pump one forward. Ball was still moving as Galentine tried to take that one quickly. Instead, it'll be an opportunity for the defender to load up. Instead, he goes short for Saudaris. McManus with a dummy. Got it past Farah. Didn't get it past Hesketh, though. Saudaris with a long throw. Arnold tries to help on. Petkov then hooks in! And Floreat find the equaliser right on the stroke of half-time. Through their number 9. 2-2 at E&D Leaders Stadium. Floreat 2, Bayswater 2. High scoring first half. Might not be done yet as Bayswater try to come forward again. They'll run out of time though. Floreat 2, Bayswater 2 then at the interval. Not necessarily one for the purists, but one which certainly has had plenty of entertainment value. Bayswater leading twice in the game, pulled back twice by Floreat responses. Mikeche strided forward and put into the bottom corner for the opener, his 15th of the campaign, equalising. Then was Nick Ambrogio from the penalty spot. Bayswater went ahead quickly with Costa Sparta striking on the volley, and just as Bayswater looked as though they were going to lead at the break, Robert Petkov hooked in from 6 yards to tie it all up. We've had plenty of action at both ends. The post has inadvertently been hit in each direction of the screen to which you're watching. And we've got a finely poised game here with Floreat 2, Bayswater 2 at the break here on NPL.tv and the Football West Facebook page and YouTube channel. Welcome back to E&D Leaders Stadium for the second half of this round 18 NPL WA men's fixture between Floreat Athena and Bayswater City. Tied up at 2 apiece at the interval. McKeche and Sparta with the goals for Bayswater, and Brogio and Petkov with the goals for Floreat. One change to bring you news of at the interval. Liam Murray coming on wide left in place of Phil Arnold. Change earlier in the game as well in the first half, in case you are late to joining us on the broadcast, with Philip Minich coming on for Alex Christodolakis. It's Floreat who are underway once again to get this second half up and running. My apologies. I can actually tell you that none of the top 6 are leading in the NPL WA at present, with Stirling being held by Gwelup. Perth Red Star are playing at 5 p.m. against Perth. And also Inglewood and Sorrento are drawing 0-0 as well in the key results relevant to the top of the table today, as Ambrogio turns up the line. Quickly taken free kick here for Steins. Cross off Gallen. Was it? Sure was. Mirko's corner. Attacking at the near post was Hesketh. Last touch off him. And it'll be a goal kick. Clearance long from the skipper, Saudaris. Floreat throw. Been pretty used to playing in these high-scoring games of late. Have Athena. A 4-1, a 3-3, a 3-2. A 4-0 and a 3-2 lately, as strike comes in from the hosts, and they'll win a corner. Taken short by Ambrogio. Layoff from McManus. Clipped in by Ambrogio again with a change of angle. Gallen. Palmer. Header away from Hesketh. Back it goes from Minich. Petkov managed to stay on side, and he'll try and volley that one towards the target, but was unsuccessful in doing so. Floreat just the one defeat here at E&D Leaders Stadium this season. That one was at home to Armidale back in round 11, a 2-1 defeat when Armidale were in their rich vein of form in the middle part of the season. Draws also here against Coburn and Inglewood as well. It really has been their away form, though, where they have really capitalised and set up their 3-point lead at the top of the league. 6 wins and a draw from their 9 matches on the road this term. Bayswater also excellent on the road. In fact, they've got an identical record with 6 wins and a draw away from home this term, but at home not quite the same joy. 4 draws despite the 1 defeat has maybe meant they're lagging just a little bit in pursuit. And Brojo sliding in, desperate to keep the ball for his team. Managed to get it wide for McManus. Quick step, and then a poke wide. Saldaris with the cross, managed to keep it in play. Clearance only as far as McManus, who looked as though he caught that nicely, and in the way and making a good block was Abrahams. McManus with the cross again. Brown Montgomery lost his footing. Murray was waiting. Andrew Palmer, all a little bit scrappy on the edge of the area. Eventually it's cleared away, and ultimately Bayswater will have the decision go their way. News of a couple of other goals to bring you. Armidale leading Coburn in a repeat of last weekend's cup final. Inglewood also trailing at home to Sorrento. And Balcatta leading by 3 goals to 0 over Glory in what is potentially a massive result at the bottom of the league. Stirling, when we last checked, were drawing 1-1 with Gwelup. Meanwhile, Petkov had the ball at his feet, but the decision went Bayswater's way instead. Southgate, who's down on the deck. The layoff from Spaker. Forward from Southgate. McKeche trying to help it on. Gallen will watch that one through for Saldaris. Gallen actually scored an important penalty in the 2019 State Cup final meeting between the pair. Tied it up at 1-1 after Darryl Nichols' opener. Phil Arnold got the winner that day. Quickly taken free kick here for McKeche. Just Sparta to aim for in the middle at the moment. McKeche with the cross. Saldaris got ahead to it. Palmer completes the clearance. Only as far as Hargreaves though. Mirko. Last touch there was off Sparta. Minich trying to steal a few metres. Long up the line from Minich. Brown Montgomery tries to flick on. Ambrogio. Liam Murray. Dancing feet. Gets through a couple of challenges. Now Brown Montgomery. There's space over on the far side for McManus. Ball was played just a little in front of him though, and that should allow Bayswater to get some numbers back. McManus passed into the feet of Palmer, who tried to dummy. Hesketh was able to read it though and poke away, and now a chance maybe for Bayswater to launch forward on the break. Through Mirko, who's got Sparta up the line. McKeche was a little further ahead. He leaps for the ball with Fuller. And last touch was off the former Perth Glory striker and into touch. Palmer's ball for Murray. Murray gets the better of Southgate. Down the line, defender dived in. Murray still goes, and eventually he bit off a little too much. Hargreaves is able to come over and help. just playing in his third game, having joined from Perth Red Star in the recent transfer window, is Liam Murray. Knows Athena well, though, having been here in 2020 and played a key role as part of their top 4 cup-winning side. A year in which they were a near miss in terms of winning the league as well. Floreat 2, Bayswater 2. No change to the half-time score. Liam Murray on for Phil Arnold at half-time if you're late in joining us. One change in the first half as well, with Philip Minich coming on for Alex Christodolakis. Bayswater Yets turn to their bench. Spaker's clearance wasn't the tidiest. Eventually Fuller tries to bring the ball under control. Palmer pressured by Abrahams. Now Saudaris. Little ball up the line. Hesketh got there first. Ambrogio. McManus forces Farah into the throw. He's then quick to get the throw moving. Palmer was looking to break into the area. Hesketh with the clearance yet again. Said that a few times this afternoon. Lovely flick from McManus. Palmer in the area. Goes to ground. Play continues. Ambrogio. Hargreaves picking off the pass, and then he was bundled over by Ambrogio. He's the latest player to go into the book, and as Bayswater try to get things moving fast, Matthew Southern said it was a little too quick for his liking. Free kick forward from Farah. Abrahams. McKeche was lurking. Brown Montgomery back defending. Now Palmer. A little clip out wide for McManus. Brown Montgomery's continued his run. Looking to burst forward, but ran out of room. Second half certainly hasn't had the goalmouth action that we saw in the first period. Minich brought down by Petkov. Sliding ball wide was missed by Mirko. Now Liam Murray. Chance to run at the fullback. Murray into the area. Tries to get to the byline. Succeeds. Pulls across goal. And then a scrappy clearance up in the air. I think it was from Hesketh back there. It turned out to be an important one. Back come Bayswater the other way. Lovely diagonal from Sparta. Steins couldn't quite bring it down. Saudaris did just enough. A lot of open grass in the middle of E&D Leader Stadium. Both teams going end to end quite easily. Passes just not quite sticking in the final third as of yet really in this half. Bodies hit the floor. Ambrogio emerges with it. Tried to seek out Petkov, who was then fouled by Hesketh. And now Athena have a A dead ball situation and a good position. Plenty for Ambrogio to aim for. It's aimed in deep, Fuller with a free header. Maybe thought he could have done a little bit better with that one. The defender wasn't tracked at all. Headed back from Hargreaves, McKeche. Floreat shirt swarming around. Stepping in with Southgate, McManus with a touch. And Brojo laying off, advancing forward from fullback is Saudaris. He has Brown Montgomery ahead of him. Hesketh was wearing him like a glove the whole way. Hargreaves with the pass. It's a beauty as well. If Smith can get on the end of it, he should be able to keep it in play and does. Now he's got to wait for the support to arrive. Here it is in the form of Abraham. Skidding ball in. Steins lost the handle. Palmer was able to use Minich. And the home team can clear up the line with Petkov in pursuit. Southgate kept his cool. And then in from behind there was Minich. Always going to go the way of the attacking team when the challenge comes in from behind like that. Mirko's ball in. Steins trying to help it on. Costa Sparta then lifts forward and it'll just bounce through for the goalkeeper. Forward from Hargreaves, intercepted by Fuller. Play continues here. Little dink over the top by Steins, and Sparta! Bayswater ahead for a third time this afternoon. Can they hold on this time and tighten the title race? In the NPL WA men's competition, it's Floreat 2, Bayswater 3. Two for the afternoon for Costa Sparta. Bayswater in front again. They've got 24 minutes or so to try and outlast the home team and the leaders of the league. And Brojo will seek out Brown Montgomery. Southgate's got to be quick. He was able to deal with it and get it to Hargreaves. Top four teams currently split by 3 points on the live league table. With Red Star still to play Perth later tonight. Stirling 1, Guelph 1. Inglewood 0, Sorrento 1 in the results relevant to the title and top four picture. Smith goes seeking out Sparta again, who gets the better of Minich. Mirko arrives on the scene. Mikeche, the layoff. Gordon Smith will lay in for Steins, who strikes, and it was a good save. A good strong block from Saudaris. Gallen was trying to cover back on the line. And Bayswater with a big opportunity there to find a fourth. Florida going to have to be wary of that front four as the game materialises here. Saudaris back for Gallen. Palmer. Sean McManus, little clip up the line. Too far for Chris Saudaris. Hargreaves, fizzing ball. Steins was offside and that'll run through. Big news to bring you of a goal at Macedonia Park. Stirling have taken the lead midway through the second half at home to Guelph, Croatia. Which really means things have bunched up in the top three in the league at the moment. Floreat came into the day with a 3-point advantage, remember. Bayswater currently doing their bit in their bid to keep the title race open. Up the line from Steins for Smith. Try to draw the foul, wasn't able to succeed. Gallen will just stride away. He'll look for the feed of Brown Montgomery. A little bit of contact there from Southgate on the turn, and he'll be the latest to take a yellow ticket from Matthew Southern. Forward from Dennis Gallen. Petkov was in the mixer. Headed back forward by Palmer. Costa Sparta will just slam that one up the line. In fact, it won't stay in play. It'll go into touch. Just underneath the Evangelos Leadus scoreboard over on the far side. Scoreboard which reads Floreat Athena 2, Bayswater 3. With a touch, over 20 minutes to play. Here in round 18 NPL WA men's action, a potentially pivotal day in the race for the title race and for the top four as well if results stay as they are. Tommy Dolman with you on NPL.tv, on the Football West Facebook page and the YouTube channel as well. Floreat looking to respond for a third time. McManus's cross. Petkov spinning and getting the shot away. Still going is Ambrogio and then using his body to get in the way. Expertly was Hesketh. And it looks as though a corner's actually been signalled despite the defender's best chance to try and keep it alive. Ambrogio's corner ball had already gone out. Be a goal kick for the visitors. Long from Spaker, flicked on by Steins. Mikeche in hot pursuit. Footwork to get away from Fuller, rolling across goal. Important intervention from Minich as Sparta was arriving to possibly put in for his hat-trick. McManus then plays off Abrahams, who's been very busy in the centre of the park today. Plenty of energy from the former Perth Glory Academy player. McManus trying to just burrow his way through a couple of challenges. Gallen, now Palmer. Follow have shown on more than one occasion this season that they are capable of a late comeback, so the job's far from done for Bayswater. Murray. Palmer, pass charge down by Hargreaves. Fuller exchanges passes with Gallen. Now Palmer again. Floreat just trying to build. Minich. Little reverse pass. Reading that one really well was Hargreaves, who once had a spell here at Floreat, quite a long time ago now. We're about to see a double swap here for Vasversic and the league leaders. Nick Ambrogio will be one to make way, Sean McManus the other. And it'll be Ludovic Boy and Lat Matiang who are introduced. Ludo Boy, plenty of experience, been with the club since the start of the NPL WA men's era. A former golden ball winner, of course. Gold medal, rather. My apologies. And Lat Matiang, meanwhile, with 3 goals off the bench this season, all of which important. And they'll be hoping for a similar impact again from him this evening. Here's Boy with his first touch of the game. Sliding in was Hargreaves. Tireless effort in front of the defence all day today, Hargreaves. Murray stepping in. Southgate stayed on his feet. Mattiang giving chase. Abraham's got there first. Murray. Petkov. Played off Mirko by Boy. It'll be an Athena throw. Mattiang. Chance for Minich to cross in towards that near post. Flashing header from Boy. Could have gone absolutely anywhere. And then appeals there, I think, for a back pass. And it's all got a little bit messy in the penalty area. And Matthew Southern will adjudicate matters here. Now, what's happened here in the penalty area? I think a red card's been shown to the goalkeeper, Nick Spaker. Chris Saldaris also been shown a yellow. We'll have to go back and have another look at that incident. Now, it means that Floreat are going to be paid a second penalty of the afternoon here. So with Spaker sent off, it remains to be seen who will go in goal. Bayswater do have Ben Ratajak on the bench. Goalkeeper will be given the final 15 minutes or so here. It remains to be seen who is going to come off for him to enter the field. It's going to be John Steins who makes way, former Athena player. So Ratajak will enter. And with Nick Ambrogi already subbed off a moment or so ago, Robert Petkov will take on penalty duties. How big this in the shape-up of this season's NPL WA title race. Robert Petkov facing up to Ben Ratajak. Up he steps. He puts it away. And it's 3-3. Floreat's number 9 with his 9th of the season. He becomes the club's leading scorer, and it sets up a grandstand finish. And we're all tied up again. Three. We had 7 goals in the earlier season meeting between these two. Bayswater winning that one 6-1. It's now 3-3 here at the home of Floreat. What drama. Shielding was Gallen, sliding in was Mikeche. Goal kick to Floreat. Just to confirm, Bayswater down to 10 after a straight red card was brandished to the goalkeeper Nick Spaker. So Bayswater will be with a player less for the final 12 minutes. The slip from Brown Montgomery. Farrell with the pass. Mikeche, a little isolated at the moment. Smith arrives in support. He looks right. Now Jason Mirko advances from full back. Cross comes in. Mikeche couldn't make the ground. Oh, and then Gallen with a awkward looking clearance. Saudaris used his hands, but it wasn't deemed a deliberate back pass. Goodness me. Cross from Saudaris. Ratajak is under the ball, and he then got caught by Brown Montgomery. A little bit of incidental contact. Muda, this one has stepped up a gear, though. When we last checked, it was Sterling who were leading, and right now it's they who, if they are still leading, are the ones who are going to benefit most from this result at the moment, barring a winner for either team in these final 10 minutes or so. Turned around the corner from Saudaris. Tough one for Boy to try and keep alive, and he could only put it behind for a goal kick Bayswater's way. Well, they still pose a real threat to Gareth Naven's team on the counter. They've got 3. They're still up and quite high. Looks as though they're essentially playing a 4-2-3 at the moment, with Hargreaves and Abrahams continuing to sit, and the back four, which started the game, still in shape. Abrahams forward. Sparta couldn't latch on. Matiang lifted up the line by Palmer. Tough one for Brown Montgomery to bring down. Farris stuck to his task. He then just lost his footing in an attempt to clear. Matiang. Palmer pickpocketed by Farrer, and then Gallen with a very late challenge there. No mistaking that. There's a clear yellow card halting the progress of the counter-attack, and he will now go into the book. Forward and long from Hesketh. The header away from Fuller. Mirko then tries to sort of spin that one back, and then a desperate lunge from Minich there. Not knowing who was around him. All he could do was put it behind. In comes the corner. Saudaris with a glance. Southgate cross back into the area. Steve Hesketh with a header, and Mikeche was flying at it and couldn't make contact. Smith. Spider to his left. In comes the throw, Mikeche. Sparta again, little layoff. Minich stepped in to clear. The header came back from Hesketh. Farah couldn't keep it alive. 6 minutes to play. Floreat 3, Bayswater 3. Another dramatic day of NPL WA action here on NPL.tv and on the Football West Facebook page and on the YouTube channel also. Quickly taken free kick here for Brown Montgomery, who will look to run at Abrahams. Foul was then from the Floreat attacker on Farah. Stirling have a third at home to Gwelup. Which means they're now just 1 point behind Floreat as things stand. Forward from Hesketh. Hooked around his shoulder by Boy. Andrew Palmer. Matiang fighting hard. A little tickled pass. Aiming for Brown Montgomery. One Bayswater, one Floreat play go to ground. Play continues. Brown Montgomery. Boy was offside. We've got some big matches ahead. This one far from done, of course. Floreat finished the season just while we've got two players on the deck just gathering themselves in Saldaris and Mikeche. Floreat's final four: away at Inglewood, at home to Sorrento, at home to Stirling, and then away at Armidale. Bayswater at home to Stirling next week, away at Armidale as well, and then they finish with two home games against old rivals Perth and then Balcatta on the final day, who may still be fighting for their place in the league. This season just looks set to finish in an exciting fashion. We've often had runaway leaders in the form of Perth or Bayswater, who have been dominant in the NPL WA men's era, or we've had possibly a two-horse title race, but really it's there for all four of the teams in the top four at the moment if they can put together a consistent run in the final four games of the campaign. A winner here in the final 3 minutes or so for either team would go a long way to achieving the start of something. Fuller trying to take the throw quickly. Bayswater will turn to the bench. It's going to be Fraser Dunlop who will see the final few minutes plus added time. Some fresh legs for two-goal man Sparta. Gallon with a long, high ball forward. Radizak came off his line. Judged it well. Up the line from Farah. Mikeche to feet. Has Hargreaves. Spearing pass. Will look for Smith. It was an important header from Fuller. with the Scottish striker looking to sneak in behind. Farrell with some footwork to get away from Matiang. Declan Hargreaves has Mikeche to his left. Saldaris was stepping out. Now Matiang. Switch of the play gives Murray something to chase. Using his strength there was Mirko, and it turned out to be a really good piece of defending from the experienced right-sided player. Fuller for Gallen. Chris Saldaris. Good header away from Hesketh. Back it goes from Saldaris. Hesketh's got a little bit of time to just nod down for Abrahams, who's allowed to turn by Boy and possibly set Bayswater in a forward movement again. Mirko's in support. Cross will come in. It was just sliced off the outside of the boot. And behind to safety as far as Floreat are concerned. Jesse Fuller. Philip Minich. Murray. Minich again. Now Andrew Palmer. We've ticked beyond the 90-minute mark. A goal here for either team. Surely a winner. Forward it goes from Minich. Matiang was trying to be a nuisance. Palmer helped on by Boy for Brown Montgomery. Striker goal. Oh, just wide of the post. That wasn't far away at all, and you can see by Brown Montgomery's reactions there was nearly yet another last-minute winner for Athena. Long from Radajak. Palmer. Fuller again. Long forward pass. Looking for Boy, who'll get on the end of it. Murray for Minich. Goes all the way back to Gallen, who was the last man. Stepping out Farrow. Brown Montgomery trying to use his muscle. Gallen again. Matiang. Brown Montgomery's cross driven into that near post. Radajak dived on it and made sure it didn't reach Petkov or Boy. Now maybe Bayswater will fancy their chances of getting something late out of this one. Boy headers forward. Bayswater free kick. Now, how many numbers will they commit to this one? Will they launch long or try and get something moving? Long pass from Hesketh. It'll reach Smith. Mirko making a move ahead of him. Smith, little ball into the feet of Mikeche. Dunlop. Saldaris stuck with him, still going Fraser Dunlop. Good defending from Saldaris. Forward from the fullback. Unable to reel that one in was Petkov, and it'll just run through to the goalkeeper. Time continuing to tick down. Fuller. Boy. Little touch. Matiang. Floreat with a promising attack here. Layoff is for Liam Murray. Gets past Southgate. Murray still going. Slams it across goal. Straight into the breadbasket. of Hesketh, I think it was, who was on the last line again. In comes the throw. Gallon nearly caught on it by Mikeche. Little ball forward. Radajak will chest mark that one. And they withstand another Floreat surge forward. The ball's gone long. And it will run all the way through to the goalkeeper. Bayswater not pressing with their man less. Distribution from Saldaris. Wasn't to a teammate. Dunlop then poked off Chris Saldaris. Bayswater with a throw. Is there still time for either team? Farris certainly not in a rush to take. Now he goes up the line. Back it goes from Saldaris. Another surge from the home team possibly. Palmer lifts it up in the air. Mirko's under it. He heads away as far as Matiang. To his side is Petkov. Now Palmer. Brown Montgomery right. He's got a few to aim for in the middle. Lost his footing. Farah kept his. And that'll be the end of today's fixture. 6 goals shared in a 3-3 draw. Another dramatic day in the NPL WA men's competition. The big beneficiaries of the afternoon's result will probably be Stirling Macedonia, who under last check were winning 3-1 at home to Gwelup. This game had a little bit of everything, though. It wasn't necessarily one for the purists, as I said in the first half, but it certainly had entertainment value and drama as well. 3 times Floreat led in the game. Sorry, 3 times Bayswater led in the game. 3 times Floreat pegged them back. Goals, 2 of them from Costa Sparta after Dumba Mikeche's first half opener. 2 also for Robert Petkov. He got the last 2 after Nick Ambrogio had equalised early in the first half to make it 1-1 from the penalty spots. So that'll do us here for another day of NPL WA action. Round 18 almost in the books. We've got another month of the season left. Don't go anywhere. It's bound to be a dramatic race for the title in season 2022. 2 of the heavyweights and 2 of the contenders drawing 3-3 here at E&D Leader Stadium this afternoon. Good night, everybody.